think that is done for them?
My brother, please, I think this topic, we will have to touch this one some other time. I have 2 IPOB guys waiting in the wings. What will happen is this:
Yes.
inbox me your number. Go to the page, you will see my number there. If you can connect, inbox me, tell me that issue, then I will add you. I'll give you my own number. When next I will host this type of program, I will invite you to come here and speak to us. Okay?
No problems. No problems.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Regards to your family.
You too. Bye.
Bye, bro. I don't want it to look as if we are running away from. Hello, good evening, brother Chidera.
Good evening. So,
yeah,
I
welcome.
visited your page for the first time. I visited your page for the first time today.
Okay.
And I actually saw it was shared by someone, and I came across your page and heard a couple of stuff you were saying. I went through your profile, saw a couple of stuff you were saying, which were mostly in reference to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the whole IPOB struggle and structure in general. And I also overheard you because I wasn't here in the beginning of the broadcast.
Okay.
But towards the ending of the broadcast, I also had a caller also call and state certain stuff about why you were doing this and what your purpose was, why you were fighting Nnamdi Kanu, why you were, fighting IPOB. And you say that you were trying to expose that this is not a social media warfare, that you're trying to expose what you believe is behind the scenes. Then he also said, wouldn't you want freedom? Wouldn't you want Biafra? And you also replied that he shouldn't put words into your mouth that you are not interested in Biafra, that you are only interested in the development of Igbo land. Am I right?
Not really, not necessarily that I'm not interested in Biafra. I don't want Biafra. I'm telling you that there is nothing to show that is coming anytime soon. And any effort put into it is effort in futility. I've been open about it.
So now you just changed the words you said before, because clearly this wasn't what you said. But that's okay.
Hold on, please. You didn't get me. In fact, let me repeat what I've been saying since I started broadcasting on Facebook. Nigeria should be divided into 8 places. But when you look around, what will lead to it is not around there. There is nothing that will tell you that Nigeria is going to break in the next 10 years. So what you feel and what you want is different from the reality on the ground, because the people that is in their hands, the people in whose hands it is to create new states, are not going to let it happen. And this guy knows it, but he will not tell his people why. It's not financially beneficial to him to tell them that truth. So he will keep on telling them it is Biafra, it is Biafra. But as soon as the election starts coming up, you will see him strategizing, putting himself in certain places where he will be the driving force in that election. Whoever wins is not his business, it's who pays him most. Ask him if P2B and the Atiku campaign paid him or not. It's just a simple question.
If P2B and Atiku paid him, that's totally not my business. But this is referring to you and your ideology, which I'm actually going to chip in now. So you've explained your point. You've explained your point of view, and now my question to you is: you believe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu isn't doing the right thing to achieve Biafra? Then what are you doing towards achieving Biafra? Or you mentioned, you said right now that you believe that Nigeria should be divided into 4. That is not working. And the people in government.
8 at least. I said 8. 8 at least.
Okay, 8. Okay, my bad. 8. You said that Nigeria should be divided at least in 8. So you believe, because there's a difference now. You clearly is saying that you want Nigeria divided. That Nigeria as it is of today is wrong. It's not good. It's not functioning. It's not okay. And that you are in support of Nigeria divided into 8, right or wrong?
Brother, please, again, don't put words into my mouth, please. Nigeria, why I want Nigeria to be divided into 8 places is because when you divide it like when it's not too large, it will be easy to administer. But that is my own feeling. And what I think, that is totally different from reality on ground.
Okay,
so
Okay, you mean divided, but they will still be under the name Nigeria.
No, you didn't get it. Please, we are now playing a different game. We are not talking hypothetically now. Listen, Nigeria should be divided into 8 places, so it will be easy for people to run their affairs. It's not right that a citizen will spend with that. Let me say 90% of the citizens will spend 8 years and not meeting their president, not once.
So I get your point. So now let me repeat it again. You believe Nigeria should divide into 8 regions because it is way more better for them to govern themselves and to tackle their own businesses and their issues.
Of course.
Okay, so if you believe this, and according to what you are saying, Nnamdi Kanu fighting for, because Nnamdi Kanu has voicely and explicitly voiced out his opinion and said that he isn't just fighting for the liberation of Biafra, that he is fighting for the liberation of the Oduduwas, for the liberation of all the the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. He's fighting for. He's also gone far as mentioning he's also fighting finally for the liberation of the so-called Fulani Janjaweed. Good. This is clear. This is up.
Please don't call people so-called. Please say the Fulanis or the Hausas, and there are other ethnic minorities there too. Please don't use the word so-called when you are talking about a people, a nation. Please. They are being called Fulanis. Okay, I say Janjaweed, the so-called, because that's the terminology that is being used, the so-called Janjaweed. But I say the Fulanis. I didn't say so-called Fulani. So he has voiced out fighting for all these people. And from what you were saying, you were also saying that Nigeria should be divided into 8 regions, and you're also saying that Nnamdi Kanu, the way he's doing it is wrong. He's not doing it right. So what exactly are you doing to do it right if you believe that Nnamdi Kanu is not doing it right and correctly? My premise is not that he's not doing it right. He is not doing anything.
Okay, he's not doing anything exactly.
Yes. This is just noise making.
He's not. Okay, he's making noise. Good. So you believe, because this is not me believing. Now this is you. You believe Nigeria should be divided. So what is your contribution and what is your plan in order to make Nigeria be divided into these 8 regions as you just mentioned, and making everyone be autonomous, rule themselves and govern themselves, their personal affairs, etc.?
It's not within my power to do that, and any effort towards that project is an effort in futility. That is what I want you to understand. Let me tell you how.
Okay. So you believe, now I get you even clearer. So you believe that Nigeria should be divided into 8 regions that could take care of their personal affairs. And you also believe that, not just believing that they should be divided, but any effort that is being put by anyone to divide Nigeria is totally useless and impossible.
Currently. Now let me tell you why. Let me explain to you how. To have a new state, the Bank of International Settlements has to come in, the IMF, the World Bank, the same people who created all these artificial boundaries in Africa would have to be involved in it. But guess what? Those people have no incentive to divide Nigeria. Why? If they divide Nigeria that way, the way you think, they would have to divide other African countries, and doing that is not what you just sleep and wake up and do. You know why?
Yes, I already think I've already thought this through. I already know but I keep pinpointing it now. You keep saying this, and yes, okay. So you believing that these people, these so-called elites, these so-called powers are not in total accordance, and they will never agree or permit Nigeria to be divided because of what they are benefiting. So does that mean that you have given up? Like you believe that since nothing can be done, these elites don't agree. That means you've given up and you've accepted defeat, and you've accepted to be slaves to their institutions and their creations.
Do you have a choice?
You have a choice to fight, and you have a choice. If you believe that you have a solution, You implement the solution. You know the truth. Now this is different. There's a difference between being a slave and a slave knowing that he's a slave, and a slave not knowing that he is not a slave. So if you know right now that you are a slave in the current Nigerian institution, in the current way Africa is being governed and ruled by the international bodies, the colonial masters, we all know this. If you know that you are a slave and you know the truth, what are you doing? You've totally given up. That is, from what you're saying, you've given up from what the due to the international bodies and everything. So you've given up because that's what you're trying to say.
Please, brother, spare me the talking points about being a slave and not knowing that you are a slave, because I'm not sure you know what slavery means from the angle you are coming from. Now, let me ask you, show me a single country since the Berlin Conference, since the Congo Conference divided Africa as we know it today. Show me a single country that was created without the support of these people. Show me one. I want to hear.
There is no country in Africa that was created without the support of the so-called powers. Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Now, what makes you think, like, if you know international politics, you wouldn't even bring up the argument of these people ever allowing Nigeria to divide? Now, let me show you how they can allow you go. If you have a president in Nigeria tomorrow that tells these people, hey, the Bank of England, you are not going to be manipulating our currencies the way you are, our currency the way you are doing it. Hey, ExxonMobil, Shell, you are going to be paying us at the market price. Hey, this mining company, you have to leave. We have to. Hey, even Nigeria trading with the Chinese directly with Naira and RMB will divide that country tomorrow. Now, do you have a president who is powerful enough to tell those people to leave? The answer is no. Why?
Okay. Now let me answer your question. So from you've not answered my question, because the answer I'm taking is that. So before I go into answering your question, since you didn't answer my question, because you clearly are not.
Tell me the question, please. Hold on, please. You won't use that tactic on me. Tell me that question I answered, because we are still here. I'm not answering any other call. I want to.
I asked you. You didn't answer the question.